Hey guys, welcome back to another community analysis. I don't even know which one we're at anymore. I'm gonna move this over here. I'm just gonna name it after the fact, but this one came from Reddit. So it's a lurker finally had the courage to shoot a video. He's the one in black. He's been playing around courts in proper kid about 3 months back. Previously used to play in my neighborhood with makeshift and key record. That's a lot of dedication. To reaching, I don't know where to start from. Okay, game of 11 points. Needs to focus on footwork and baseline game, so basically, like, just fundamentals. Let's see. Okay, so guy in black is the guy closer to him. In the future, if you could get, like, a wider angle. I understand that this facility is quite small, but maybe if you put your phone in the corner, like over here, you could probably get a wider angle and turn it sideways. Okay. I would say stance-wise, be a little bit lower. Typically, a good sign you see from a lot of singles players is Victor Axelsen is really good because he's really tall, so you have to get really low. But basically, be a lot more aggressive forward. Have this right leg kind of leaning forward to attack the low serve. It looks like you guys are doing high serve, so disregard that. I would say still be slightly forward. Have your racket a bit higher still, because even if he does fake it and he plays a low serve, you want to be able to attack it. So here, you need to get like fully behind it. It looks like you took your step back and you're like leaning backwards because the ball is like above you and behind you a little bit. Get behind the shuttle to be able to more accurately hit it, and also just to be unbalanced so you can get back to the middle for the next shot. Also, typically playing a smash upon a high serve is typically not a good thing to do, just because after a high serve, if it's done well, is going to be all the way back here. The shuttle is going to be super high and it's going to come down like straight, which means you're hitting more of the feathers, so it's going to be slower. And also, the opponent is usually in a very comfortable and relaxed position. They're not out of position because they just serve, so they're usually in the best case scenario to receive the smash. So, just a word of advice there. Watch out. Okay. Wait, did I miss something? Alright, okay, I did miss something. Okay. Alright, so you have the right idea of serving coming back to the middle, but you gotta remember the dude is on your other side, so more ideally, you're a little bit more like this way. So ideally, this right foot is past this line, maybe around here. So you're still like in the middle, but you're still like middle right, if that makes sense. And also, of course, there was a lack of a split step here as well. Yeah. Alright, so a few things. So this smash is quite not good for a lot of reasons. One, it lacks pace. Two, it lacks angle, and that's the biggest reason. It lacks angle. And three, it lacks quality. So let's focus on the second one. I said it lacks angle. The problem with that is that if you're going to smash down the middle, it needs to be towards the hips and make it difficult for the opponent to defend. It needs to be a body shot. But when you do it like this, you're basically just doing like a low quality clear. Like look at what the opponent is doing. The guy hasn't moved his feet at all, right? And now he's able, and you've essentially just given him the ball. And remember, you're coming back from the very back, so you're like moving, you're out of position. So all he has to do is just very casually put it over here, and you've basically just wasted a lot of energy for nothing. and you're in an even worse position than when you started. Because see, now you're like out of position, and now you have to lift the ball up, so he has the opportunity to attack now. Yeah, like that. Also, you need to add variety to your smashes, or not your smash, to your return of serve. So let's say that like you do get a good smash, you learn the proper technique and you have good angle, you're close to the lines and you have good speed on the high serve. If a straight smash is all that you do, and even though it's really good, the opponent just knows to prepare for that, and now you're wasting energy, and you're gonna get tired because like you got to think if you're gonna be playing a singles game, potentially the 3 sets of 21, you're gonna be smashing every single high serve. You're just gonna get tired really quickly. So, all right. So here, I can't tell what you're doing, but this clear looks okay, considering it looks like he stepped back into this back line. Yeah, I would say this is correct. I think he did everything correct here. Good job. Alright, so a few things. Okay, you're in position, you get this. There's no reason to play it to the middle like this. Um, Especially that high. So let's break that down. So playing it to the middle is typically only done when you want to reduce the angles that your opponent has. Because if it's in the middle and you're in the middle, that means the ball has to partially go through your way, regardless of wherever they lift it, right? The same thing for if you clear it or serve it to the middle. If they clear it or serve it to the middle, anywhere that you drop the ball, it has to go partially across their body, so they're able to get an easier time to get it. Um, but in this situation, the opponent is coming from the back, and you want to add pressure to their situation, not reduce it. So if you play the straight shot, you are making them run a straight line, but it's very fast, right? They don't have much time to react. If you played a cross, they have a little bit more time to react, but assuming it's of good quality, they're having to run the longest distance, right? When you play to the middle, you kind of do neither. And then the second problem was that it was a bit high. So if you're going to play a straight net shot and it's high, that's okay, assuming that it's tight, because you need the shot to be high to be tighter, especially when you're getting it from that low. But if you're just going to play it high like that into the middle, that's just going to happen. I don't know if that was out or in, but yeah. Alright, so a few things. Wait, let's break down this swing again. So like as you can see, your arm is like the only thing behind the shuttle. So you're not able to throw your weight into the shuttle as much as you could. Like you have the idea of rotation down. Your contact point is actually quite like it's not bad. Um, just that if you don't have your whole body behind it, so your smashes could be a lot stronger. You even have like the follow up correct. This is correct. The problem here is this next shot. So you're like running. Don't wait for the shuttle to come to your racket. Bring your racket up. Because if you had come towards the shuttle with your racket up, you could have reached it above the net, and that opens your ability to play drops quicker, to drive, to push it over their head. You have so many much more options. But when you play it like this, like I mean, you like when you're watching the return footage, like what can you really realistically do in this situation, right? If you have the wrist strength, you could lift it, or you could play a drop. But if you're gonna play a drop, why are you doing it from such a difficult position like this when you don't need to, right? Oh, again, same thing. Don't wait for the shuttle to come down that low. You're in position. First of all, take a step towards the shuttle so you reach it faster and bring your racket up. Like your goal with nets or actually any shot is to reach the shuttle as high as you can and as quickly as you can. Alright, so again, you have the right idea of stepping forward to, hedge in case he does play a net, but your footwork needs to be a little bit more side because the only things he's able to do is either play close to the net or far away from the net. So you need to be sideways so that if he does play a short shot, you can use your back left leg to push forward, and if he plays, a lift, you can push off, rotate your hips, and already be in position to play an overhead shot. And again, like the smashes are becoming predictable. Like you smash basically every shot you lifted, which is not smart. And like this guy, like just very casually just pushes your shot to the side. Like even though it's out, it's not out because you put him under pressure. It's out because of a mistake he made. Good. This is better. Here again, keep the racket up. Your racket is almost touching the ground at this point, right? So like even if your racket like singles players can get away with being more lazy because the game is slower, right? But you still have to have some sort of racket discipline. Like even if your racket was like around your hips, that like half second that that saves you, you're able to get shots like that. See? Like you're already so close. So yeah. Gotta get back there faster. And if you're really out of position, the only thing you can really do is clear. Okay, so yeah, I told you at the very beginning you want to you want to be able to attack the low serves, right? So again, there's no steps taken forward. Like step towards the shuttle and have your racket up. Like what you're doing now is like very not threatening, and your swing is very obvious. Like it's very obvious what the shot is going to be based on the rotation of your hips, based on where you're racking with the shuttle, that kind of thing. Like it's very obvious you're going to lift this. And you lifted it to the very back. So you've given the opponent the opportunity to attack, right? You shouldn't be this close to the front line. You should have taken a step back. That's way in, bro. Alright, so the problem here is like if you play the cross, right, and they play the straight, and it looks like this guy is a little bit more experienced than you. This is what I was talking about to you earlier about when you played that shot to the middle, right, instead of playing a straight. He's just playing a straight, so you have less time, and because you play a cross, now you have to run the longest distance, right? And you're scrambling, you're way out of position now. You like see where you've recovered, you're all the way here, and the ball is already here, so yeah. Like you already know it was a rally over. Alright, so yeah. Alright, so in conclusion, I would say like wait, I'm getting a message, sorry. So I would say in conclusion, sorry, the laptop's everywhere. There's a lot of things you need to work on. I say the biggest thing would be getting your body behind the shuttle when it comes to overhead shots. And then I would follow that by saying a little bit of better shot selection would work. Um, working on like your contact point, working on moving towards the shuttles, not letting it just come to you. Right? Like intent. That's the word I always use in on all these analyses. Like showing intent, right? If you play the net, show the intention of playing the net shot by, having your racket up high, moving and stepping towards the shuttle, like meeting it as high as you can, that kind of thing. Yeah. But given, what you've said about your background, like this is quite good. You're obviously like a physically strong person, but you can't like let that be the only trait you have in badminton, especially if you're playing against someone who has like, in this case, good defense and can, handle your smashes, right? I tend to have that problem too because I have a physically bigger body, so my smash tends to be quite strong. But you gotta remind yourself, especially in singles, that the goal is to push the shuttle around and away from the opponent. You know, so yeah. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll leave this in your Reddit comments, and if you have any other questions, hit me up.